Hello everyone. So I'm here explaining what exactly I did throughout the week with my students. This is a map of my classroom, and I am very lucky and I only have 16 kids, an even number, and it's a very small number of students. So this is sort of kind of my setup. This is the front of my classroom, the back, the exit area. My computer station is over here. My kidney table is here. My library slash media center is here, and then my center is usually here in the middle of the classroom. I sit on this side, and then the whiteboard is behind me. But since I use Doceri, my kids can see everything that I do on this interactive whiteboard. So this week, what I had them do was It's Learning. It's Learning. Is a computer-based program that we use here in our school to upload whatever videos or whatever lessons we want to teach our students, and we just record a video and we can upload it on It's Learning, and the students can view it. So that's what I had them doing here on the computers on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday until they finish it. Of course, I don't rush them to finish it as long as they try their best to finish it before Friday. Then over here, I had them play what I call a frog game, and it's just a game board, and then I change the task cards every so often. I make sure that they finish the task cards because, for instance, this week on Monday or Tuesday, I gave them the frog game with 15 task cards that they have to complete. Obviously, they didn't finish those 15 task cards in 15 minutes, so I will usually leave those task cards for 2 days until I see the majority of my students are already done, and I use those whatever it is that the work that they do, and I use that for my own benefit, so that I can see who's understanding the skill and who's not, and that's how I do my interventions. Then right here, I have what I call my daily math review, which is a spiral of everything that we have learned, and like a little small sneak peek of what we are going to learn. And I basically record myself, and the students do their daily math review on their own. It's 4 problems that they do in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then they play the video that I recorded explaining each of those problems. And then if they finish a little early, I usually have an activity for them to complete there that has to do with the skill that we are learning. Over here, my students usually do their math checklist, which is in my lesson plan that you guys obviously saw. And I usually have them here. They choose an activity that they want, an iPad, an app that they can do on the iPad. For example, since it's math time, they can use Reflex Math, they can use Compass Learning, or they can use BrainPop Junior or Kahoot. It's up to them. And then right here in the middle, this is where I'm usually doing my interventions. So that's where I pull the students that need help, or a group of students, or usually I try to do one-on-one because I feel that it's more helpful for them. So the strategies that I taught them this week for addition were 3 different strategies. And I taught them, for example, this one right here, and they all have to do with regrouping. So I taught them, for example, 28 plus 17. So I told them that this one is the combining strategy, and you guys might use the same strategy and call it something different. I just call it the combining one. So I tell them, you add your ones and your ones, and then you add your tens and your tens. So I tell them to start with their ones first. 8 plus 7, 15. And then I tell them to add their tens. 2 plus 1 is 3. But since it's in the tens place, the value of it is 30. And my students are really good at identifying the value of each, that they know that the value of each place value. So then they just add 30 plus 15 is 45. And then they write their answer on the top as well. The other strategy that I taught them was this one right here, 28 plus 17. And I always make them use a place value chart because my students still can't align their numbers very well. And usually what I'll get is something like this. So yeah, that's not going to work. So I told them that they will graduate once they don't have to do that anymore. So I told them, line up your numbers using a place value chart. And then they just add their ones with their ones. 8 plus 7, 15. And I tell them the 5 drops, the number in the ones place drops, and then we regroup. And it goes to the tens place. And then they just add their tens place. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. And I forgot to write my 5 there. I'm sorry. And that's one of the other strategies that they use. With this said, I do have some students that are struggling. So what I decided to do is that, and I'm sharing it with you guys just so that you know, they are having trouble. Well, not having trouble, but they're forgetting to add this one right here. So what I'm going to have them do is use different colors of highlighters, and they're just going to go crazy with the highlighters. And they're going to highlight all the numbers in the ones in a color, and then all the numbers in the tens place in another number, and then they're going to highlight the one as well in a different color. And they have to, so like that, this will hopefully help them with 8 plus 7, the 15. I drop down my 5. I regroup my 1 to the tens place, 1, and hopefully that it's highlighted, and maybe even adding a plus sign in the front of that 1 will remind them that they need to add this one and not forget. So that's the problem that I saw with this strategy, which is our normal strategy that we usually use. I just make them, do the place value chart. And the other strategy that I taught them was this one right here, where they write their numbers in expanded form. So 28 would be 20 plus 8. 17 would be 10 plus 7. So then 8 plus 7, 15. 20 plus 30. 20 plus 10, 30. So then 30 plus 15 will equal to the 45. And that is those are the 3 different strategies that I used with my students. Some of them prefer this strategy, some of them prefer the first strategy, some of them prefer the second strategy. They're all doing different strategies, but they're doing the one that they feel the most comfortable with. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice evening. So in this group, the students are working on a worksheet, and it's regroup and don't regroup, and they have some cards like this, and they're putting them where they belong over here. So we have 42 plus 28. If they have to regroup, they put it where it belongs. If they have, for example, 36 plus 13, they don't regroup, they put it on this side. And they are working on their strategies right now. Over here, because it's a lot of work for this activity, what they're doing is that they are finishing it up in the center. This is what it looks like on Next Learning, and that's the video that I recorded for them. Over here, they're playing the frog game that I had said at the beginning, and they have these task cards. On my way. And they are solving their problems on this sheet. And then every time they get it correct, they move their little monito that I call. In this center, they are doing first they start off with their daily math review. Can I see one of your daily math reviews, please? In your folder? Thank you. This is a daily math review that they do. And then they just watch a video. They scan one of the QR codes and the video pops up. And then when they are done, I always have an activity for them to do, which right now they're doing the 2-digit addition with regrouping task cards that are these right here. And then they just answer their problems on one of the recording sheets.